Welcome to episode 4. It's your Monster Energy race preview shows for 2023. Monster Energy AMA Supercross. Jason Weigandt, Steve Matthes, Jason Thomas here. We're going to bring you the full menu of the 450 class. The guys in this show, it's all over the map. They've been there, they've done it, they've got new teams, they're on old teams. They're kind of our favorites, like from a personal side. It's riders that have been around for a long time, and the fans are really happy to see them get their shot, including a couple of rookies who've been dying to get 450 rides and finally have their opportunities. Shout out to Monster, Maxima, Maxxis, and Fly as our sponsors. And let's just start here with a rookie crop. We do have a rookie crop. Everyone that wanted to complain that Christian Craig should be racing a 450 in Supercross, you got your wish. He won a 250 Supercross title. He's on Rockstar Husqvarna for 2 years, 450 full-time.
Well, let's not bury the lead here, Weech. We will also be announcing our 450 Supercross title pick at the end of this show.
Okay,
let's not bury the lead here.
All right.
So stay tuned for that.
All right.
Once again, Weech, you have made an error.
Oh, this is incorrect.
This is incorrect
Okay.
list. Christian Craig should have been in show 3. He is a top 10 guy or better, fastest guy in the whoops, full-time 450. We saw what he did all summer long. We've seen him before in Supercross. I think Christian Craig rises above all of these guys on the other list we have that we're going to be talking about, and should have been in show 3.
Every year we have the same debate.
Yep.
You take it as like I'm ranking these riders 1 through 12. I'm trying to have a similar theme where I'm putting all 3 rookies, which is Nichols, Craig, and Justin Cooper in the same show. So this is our fundamental. And by the way, you say every rider needs to be higher, so I want to know who should be in the 4th show.
Sir, Christian Craig's 30 years old. He's not a rookie.
He is a rookie.
There's nothing
How is he not a rookie?
about this.
The fact that he hasn't raced a full 450 Supercross season is?
He's raced 450 Supercross before.
A whole season?
No.
What, like 3 races?
More than that.
Okay, so he's not a rookie. He's not a rookie. What class did he race last year?
250.
Okay, thank you.
West.
Okay,
Yeah.
250 West. He's
Yeah.
a champ.
Yeah.
Now let's go to JT. Now I know what you have to deal with on a constant basis. Look, we've always known Craig's riding style is speed, especially in the whoops, unbelievable. It's always been the mental hurdles, the mistakes. He finally got rid of that last year. So do we think that now he is ready to be at that level that riding-wise we always knew he could be?
I think the riding will be great.
Yeah.
I have no idea where he slots into this class. As we go through these episodes, we make cases for and against lots of these guys.
Yeah.
And I think you have to do the same thing for Christian Craig. I think speed-wise, amazing. The whoops, he's probably going to blow us away with how fast he can go through the whoops. But I don't know if that puts him in a battle to get 3rd or if that puts him in a battle to get 8th on a consistent weekend. I don't know. And we saw that in Pro Motocross last year. He was up there, and then he was not other weekends too. So it'll probably be the same. But if you're telling me a few weekends this year he's leading, just like we saw like at Southwick or the Wick, I wouldn't be shocked at that because he has speed to burn. And in the whoops, if we get a really tough racetrack, San Diego, Anaheim too, some of the tougher whoop racetracks of the year, he gets a good start. Anything goes. Now, can he lead for 20 minutes plus a lap? That's a different question entirely. You're dealing with a different level of competition than he's used to in Supercross. But to say he's not going to be competitive, I think would be foolish.
I'm really surprised at you. You didn't bring up the one thing that you are a huge fan of, Alden Baker. He's there. He's riding with Coop and Mookie and AP, and you love Alden Baker's program. I mean, the results speak for themselves.
Yep.
You didn't mention that once. You don't think that that's going to be, when you say you don't know if he can run 20 plus 1, like, dude, he's going to do the program that Ryan Villapoto and everybody else did. So I'm not comparing him to that, but he's doing that program.
I don't really know what to expect from him. I really don't. Like, you say he's not a rookie. Well, tell me how he's going to do then, because I can tell you within reason how a lot of these guys are going to do because I've seen it so much. I have so much evidence to draw from. Christian Craig on a 450 against these guys in this class, I don't. I have a good idea, top 5. That's not rocket science to put together. But to tell me that he can go and stay the pace with Tomac late when they get deep in the race, I don't know that, right?
Well,
but I'm not saying you can't. I just don't know. I don't know how Alden Baker fits into that. I don't know how switching from the Monster Star Yamaha to the Rockstar Husky 450, how does that work? I don't know. We saw those guys have issues in the whoops last year. Does that affect him at all?
Well, I was texting him and saying, too bad you left Yamaha. You're
Blue Crew.
You're the Blue Crew.
Okay.
Your whoops are going to suck, and you're never going to realize what a great bike you were. And then he sent Keefer and I a video of him in the whoops.
Yeah, I heard the same from the intro.
Holy
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, he looked as good as ever on the white bike.
Okay, he can do the
Threw
whoops.
some huge whoops.
Okay.
And he said, presented without comment.
Yeah.
and it was good. So he looks fine.
I have really strong opinions about most of these guys. I'm open-minded to Christian Craig because I just don't have enough.
Alden Baker.
I understand. I get it. But Aaron Plessinger was Alden Baker last year too. Tell me how that went. Not real well. So I don't know what to make of it quite yet.
I think we're just saying the competition is what makes it tough.
Yes.
It's not like he's not going to be ready or in shape or fast, but to win races or get podiums against Tomac and Anderson and guys like that, you could be really good and still get fourth.
Is he better than AP? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he worse than Webb? I don't know.
Yeah.
Can he battle with Anderson? Because some of the lap times you look at on the 250, they were like the same lap times. So you're telling me he's going to be in the mix to win? I don't know. He might be the rider that I'm most open-minded about his results. You tell me he gets 10th? Okay. You tell me he gets 2nd? Okay, because I know he's capable of both.
All right. Let's
He's going to be my title pick.
Well, straight up. You buried I really did bury the lead there.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding,
rookie.
But I wanted to see what you said.
My mind is blown. I always rate the rookie thing. I know you say he's not a rookie because he's older. Every time a guy comes into this 450 class with 17 rounds and this year 19 weekends, I've heard all the reasons. This guy's seasoned. This guy's older. This guy's been there through more. The 17 races is always difficult the first time.
Have we ever seen a dude do, I don't know, let's say he's got 10 450 Supercrosses under his belt, and he's got 3 years of 450 motocross races under his belt. This is not a rookie in the traditional sense.
It is not, but I've seen a million scenarios of this is a different type of rookie, and it always ends up like, the first year's
Alden
tough.
Baker knows there's 17 rounds. He's got it handled.
Okay. I mean, I've heard so many times this guy's more seasoned than the typical rookie, and they have the same bumps in the road that everybody does. 17 450 races in 19 weekends is tough.
We're fine. Yeah, we got an extra week off this year.
Yes, you have 2 weekends off.
Yeah.
I believe the speed will be there, but I grade all rookies on a curve. Let's stay in that zone. So Ken Roczen and Honda agree to disagree on racing FIM World Supercross. Slot opens up for Colt Nichols. What an unbelievable bit of good fortune. He had a team that he was going to be on that was going to fold. He was going to have nothing, and now he's on Team Honda. Unbelievable.
I mean, the team did fold.
It did.
Right? The effort he was on folded,
yes,
right?
He was going to have nothing.
We talked to him, a few weeks ago in December, and he went from I have nothing to I have arguably the best ride in the sport, right? To be on Factory Honda HRC. It's the team that most kids grew up idolizing, if you're in our generation. So for him, you have to be pinching yourself at the opportunity that's in front of you. He is coming off a really long injury, right? He's going into this class for the first time ever. So you can't really say that the situation is the same for he and Christian Craig, even though they were on the same team. They're both 250 West champions. Like, they have all those things in common. But you have to think that Christian is more set up for success with all that momentum.
And he has a 2-year deal.
Right. Versus Colt coming in off a big injury on a new team. So I'm a little bit more, I think there's more upside for Christian, but Colt could be one of those guys that surprises. I just don't have high expectations for him, and maybe that's the best thing.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really tough. I don't have high expectations for him either. A year off of racing is a long time. And new bike, new team, new class.
He's a rookie.
Yep. He is this is a rookie.
Oh, okay.
And to add to your point, he let us in on the fact that his wrist is not 100%. Like, he has to work on this thing every day. It affects the way he rides. It affects his technique. It's not something where, I broke my arm and I'm 100% again. He told us he'll basically never be exactly the same. Yeah. Now, does that show up on race day? I don't know, but it's something we have to factor in here is maybe he's not able to go the peak level Colt anymore. We don't know.
And deep field and all of that, I wish him luck. And, I think if you're Honda, you're probably paying him a pretty low base, and you lost Kenny. You did about as well as you could do. Good guy, fans.
Oh, yeah.
You did as well as you could do for that spot this late in the game. So I like the signing for Honda, and I like the signing for Colt. I just think it's going to be really tough. Supercross only, too.
And also another factor in that is, Trey Kennard was injured this offseason, right? He broke his arm, wasn't able to do as much testing. So Colt has been doing a lot of the testing, right? He's been kind of doing double duty. Not only does he have to worry about his career, get in shape, but he has to do the testing and carry a little bit of the weight for Sexton to try to improve the bike and continue on. And these factory teams, it's the constant move forward of trying new things, right? Some things work, some things don't. But typically Trey would be the one that filters those, and now that's kind of falling on Colt. So he's got a tough task. He's not only got to rehabilitate himself, get himself up to race speed, but he's also got to work through all these parts that sometimes it's just a waste of time, but you've got to still do it.
Let's learn more about the Honda that would be raced by Colt Nichols and also Chase Sexton. Let's send it to our bike guru, Kris Keefer. What do you think of the Honda CRF 450R?
We all know Kenny left Honda, right? He wasn't happy with his bike, but let's call a spade a spade. Kenny's never happy. Even if he wins on the bike, he's still not happy. There's room for improvement no matter what. I just won. There's room for improvement. Honda actually recognized that, and they've been working with Chase. Obviously, Colt Nichols is on the team as well. After the outdoor series last year, they went over to Florida and did some testing with Chase. They have found some more comfort. So I don't know if we're going to hear the rigid talk or the stiff talk, or my bike is not the greatest in the whoop talk from Chase. I think Chase has found a good spot for him in his chassis. Colt is going to benefit all from that. Obviously, I think Colt is anywhere between an 8 to 12 place rider. But for me, I think Chase is my pick for the 2023 Supercross Championships because the guys over in the orange side and the blue side are dealing with some new bike issues. And Chase and the guys over at Team HRC have found a better setting, and they're working on the same type of bike. So I think it's going to be more seamless for them to open it up in January. And we all know my favorite term for Chase is Giselle Sexton because he is the most beautiful rider to watch. But sometimes, man, that Giselle slips a heel coming down the runway, and we find that Giselle laying on the ground, the dirt, and oh my God, I cannot believe it. You can never find a rider that rides a bike more fluid than Chase and then have some of the stupidest mistakes ever. So Chase also told me that he's working on some mental things for him during the races. So when you see those halfway signs come out 15 minutes in, look for a better, more sturdy Chase and not a slip of heel. We don't want Giselle to come back.
All right, that's Kris Keefer and his thoughts on the Honda and Giselle Sexton, as he likes to call him.
Is he in Spain? Where is he?
No, he's testing motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
He's testing motorcycles. He wasn't available at the studio. It is time. It's time for the rubber to meet the road. I'm going to top off my Maxxis bottle with some more Monster Energy so I can come up with some hot takes. Yeah, it's a tough spot for Colt Nichols to be in. Great that he ended up with a factory 450 ride. Those are not easy to come by. JT, you lived it. But he's got a Supercross-only deal. He's basically got 6 months to prove himself. Jet Lawrence will be on the 450 for Honda outdoors. So this isn't necessarily an audition for Colt to stay on Honda, but at least to show another 450 team, if they don't have room in the future, sign me up. I'm good. I mean, he was forgotten about last year. So that is difficult, I feel, to be in an audition while you're a rookie and you're trying to learn the class of the team, the bike, and all that. So good luck, Colt Nichols. Everybody wants to see him succeed. But he's got to, man. He can't just go through the bumps in the road. He's got to show something because he's going to be fighting for a ride again.
But if you are looking at it from his perspective, that's the situation you were going to be in either way, right? Whether you're on a privateer effort, regardless. So why not be in the best situation possible, right? The downside is, yes, if you can't make it at factory Honda, what team's going to go, well, we can fix them or we can make it work.
Yeah.
But I think you have to look at it as the glass is half full here and say, okay, if I get my shot, at least I have every possible opportunity to make this thing work. And everybody on the best team, we consider Honda as having the best technology most years. What other opportunity could you want? Especially if you asked him, let's go back to January of 2022, and he's in the hospital, right, for an entire week with these arm injuries. You asked him, hey, right now, you know how badly you're hurt. You're going to be on a factory Honda next year at A1. Yeah. Would you say he would be over the moon, right? He would be tap dancing probably out of the hospital room. So if you take that into account, this is a great, great situation for him, even though all the trials and tribulations he's faced over the last year.
And most riders would say, give him a chance to bet on themselves. That's all they're asking for. And he's definitely got that opportunity. Now, we didn't know if it was going to happen for our next rider. I was ready. I was ready for a rant, maybe a race tech rant in Pulp MX fashion, if Star Racing did not put Justin Cooper into the 450 class. He's not eligible to race 250 Supercross. He had a year to defend. That was last year. He was hurt, didn't have a chance to do it, but the rules are the rules. They actually stuck with it. I'm shocked.
Amazing.
And the AMA said you cannot go back to the 250 class. So for a while, we thought he might just sit out Supercross altogether. They now say select rounds. So I can't bag on them too bad, but this is weird. I've never seen this before.
It's unprecedented. It's not like Justin Cooper. Now, I could totally see this program if Jeffrey Hurlings was coming over, or Ben Watson, or somebody like that's coming over to Race America. Hey, man, you're
more of a motocross guy.
You're more of a motocross guy. Let's put you into a couple of rounds and get your feet wet, and then we'll. This is a Supercross champion.
Yeah.
This is a guy with a ton of podiums.
Mm-hmm.
He is a great 250 rider, and it's select rounds only. Like, I don't know how his contract is structured as far as payment. I don't know if he's getting less money or it's the same money, and he only has to do half the races as far as doing the outdoor series. It's bizarre, and I mean, it's Star, so they kind of do what they want. They're a little DGAF over there. I don't know if we can compare this to anything. It's odd. Like, okay, parts and availability and money to go racing a full 17-round series is more money. There's no doubt from a team standpoint. But this is a star rider, literally a star rider, star of star. And this is what they're doing. It's weird. I'm baffled.
I honestly think it just comes down to they're stretched thin. I don't have any other thing to point to. Nothing else makes logical sense other than you look at the scope of their team and that project, and it is so broad. They have so many riders and so much effort. They brought on Tomac last year when we're all looking at each other go, how can they afford this? Well, I think that's the question they're asking themselves is how can we afford this? And nothing else would make sense. You look at how great Justin Cooper was at Motocross of Nations. The whole country's behind him. So to me, there's only one answer, and it's just like we just don't have the resources to support this all season long or find a spot to pay him full salary. So I think they're doing the best they can by select races. But I know you're going to say, find a way, whatever. But, I think they're already overstretched. I really believe that.
Why sign him? Just for 250 motocross?
I think that's what they were doing.
That's what they're like. Because if they are, no problem, he's got to win. If he gets second or third, nobody cares. He's done that before.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm sure that's what they're going to be saying. He needs to do outdoors.
Yeah.
Yes.
For Justin Cooper.
Outdoors, yes.
To make it at all worthwhile. It's just, I don't know, man. It's a weird situation. Look, obviously, if something happens to Tomac or Ferrandis, he'll step in, and this could all be moot, right? But it's a weird situation. I know what you're saying about stretch thin, but we had been hearing he was not going to do 450 Supercross a long time ago, and he was still signing up for it. If I'm Justin Cooper and the dad and the agent or whoever, dude, you're losing. You're falling behind here. You're falling behind.
This is a rookie season that he's not going to have.
That you're not going to have. I don't even sign with Star. In that case, because we knew a long time ago he wasn't going to do this.
This is what we'd heard.
But you also wonder, though, what other conversations were being had, because I think they knew that Tomac wouldn't be around for super long. So if you're Justin Cooper, you're kind of looking at, okay, I got to wait this Tomac thing out, but then that's my spot. I'm factory.
Don't they just
Yamaha.
get Webb? We already think that Webb will go back, right?
I don't necessarily think that. I don't know that.
Well,
but I think if you're Justin Cooper, you're looking at that dynamic, saying this is the team I want to be on. This is the bike I want to be on. Tomac's only signing up for a half-a-year contract next year. The writing's on the wall. If I perform, I'm in.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. It's hard to jump in at select races and do much.
Yes.
So interested to see how his results are.
I think it's like, look, we have Tomac and Ferrandis. We cannot do a 3-rider team. We don't have the resources, to your point. But knowing Star, it's like, oh, but we saw him ride. He's good. We'll just try a couple.
Maybe they don't have the suspension.
Really? Somebody else might. Maybe they've given too much to some other people.
They're short one set of suspension. I can
help. Or
help.
Justin Cooper. I'm not going to say anymore. All right, so those are 3 rookies, 2.5 or 1.5. You say Craig doesn't count?
Craig does not count.
Okay, and Cooper's only doing select races.
Yeah, so it's just
we only have
Colt
one
Nichols.
rookie.
Right.
Colt. That's it. Other riders to talk about on the other side of the scale, we have veteran riders, like I said, some likable personalities. Dean Wilson was with Rockstar Husqvarna for the longest time. He's now with the Firepower Honda team, Fly Racing Gear. And I got to say, looked pretty good. We didn't get the results that I think people were expecting at the World Supercross rounds, but he looks good and people love Dean.
If you're him, Fly Racing, the face of Fly Racing.
He is.
Dean's results almost don't matter that much because, dude, people love him. His social media is following. He's a outgoing dude.
Yep.
I know from interviewing him, he never turns an interview down, right?
Yeah.
He's always a good, this is a win-win for Fly, and the results almost don't matter.
Yeah, and I personally, on behalf of Fly Racing, I've been chasing Dean for a long time. And yes, okay, go back several years, the trajectory was like, man, he could really do this thing. I think we've all come to understand what Dean's ceilings are, and we know he's starting to wind this thing down. But yes, to your point, his personality, his social media presence, his YouTube channel, those are all really engaging aspects of Dean Wilson. It speaks to him as a person outside of being a motorcycle racer. He's affable. We all want to be associated with him. We want to be friends with him because we like him. So yes, it's there's a lot to it. And yeah, we're super excited to have him. And I honestly, more than anything, I don't care if he gets 5th or 12th. I really don't. We just want to see him healthy and get out there and have fun, because he really brings a lot to the sport off the racetrack, which is cool.
And what about Andy?
Oh, his dad.
Oh.
Great. It's great.
Great people.
What about Marty?
What about Marty?
He's got Marty behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Marty is the
Can't
team
stop.
manager over there. Yep.
Well, can't stop, won't stop.
Marty Davalos. And the team was, by the way, that close. They almost had Ken Roxon on the team. So big things are happening over there with the Firepower Honda squad that once got a podium with Justin Brayton,
Here we go.
who will not be part of this show because he's really not racing.
He won't be there, and I,
is
for
not
one,
racing.
am happy that I don't have to hear you. Anaheim won first practice. Talk about how good he looks.
He always does, though.
He did, though.
No, he
I
does.
mean, I'm just a reporter. I'm just
He
reporting the facts.
literally jumps everything first.
He comes out first the first lap, and you're like, oh, he's winning. He's
I
gonna
know that's
win.
what I've
yeah,
said.
Yeah, no.
He's really not coming. Brayton is not
I
racing.
think it's over, man. And listen, after this show, I'll give you some tips, because the same thing happened to me with Tim Ferry.
Sport's never been the same.
Yeah, and I'll give you some tips on how to overcome it.
Okay.
Counseling's
I'm gonna
one. Counseling's a big one.
Can I
You're
ask
going to give
Moser
someone
about-
tips to overcome it.
Yeah,
Are you going to follow those tips at all
No,
at any point in your life?
I've overcome it. Tim Ferry.
Okay.
Yeah, Tim Ferry. He doesn't race anymore, and I rarely bring him up.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I'll call our buddy Moser about Shorty not being there
I'm
anymore.
at
There's
50% less Tim Ferry references than I probably was.
and that's taken 13 years.
Okay.
Congratulations. So no Justin Brayton. I don't know if I can go on. He could have been in this. No, he should have been in show 1. Let's be honest. Some other guys we're going to talk about here. Kyle Chisholm. Now Chiz going to chiz, always making mains, making the other privateers look bad, like when there's a privateer-only
Yeah,
race. But we
absol-
can't quite talk about that anymore because he's on the HEP Suzuki team. Is
he
that privateer?
He is off of the Yamaha LCQ challenge.
Okay.
He is off of
Okay,
that.
he's no longer
He's been
eligible.
lobbying me on Twitter.
Still.
No chance, Chiz. You're
Okay.
out. But yeah, no, look, he loved Yamaha, and he did really well on it. And I mean,
He loved Yamahas when people hated Yamahas. He was always a Yamaha guy.
This is the guy that JT raced, for God's sake. That's how old he is. But, we got a multi-year deal with HEP to do some testing, do some racing. Going to be a solid guy over there. He'll be a main event guy. And he doesn't have to worry about trying to piece his program together, which is, such a headache and everything.
Yeah.
Good for Chiz. I mean, at some point, Chiz has to stop chizzing. I just don't know if 2023 is the year.
I don't know if 2043
Okay,
is the year.
all right.
He seems to be able to just maintain this level, which is incredible. And we have so much fun poking at guys like A-Ray and all these guys that no matter how hard they try, no matter what they do, they just can't seem to beat this guy.
Yeah.
And it's a testament to Chiz as he's gotten older. I lived through it. It's really challenging as kids keep coming up and the sport keeps evolving. You have to keep continuing to evolve your skill set and stay healthy and do all these things. And he's doing a great job of that. And he might have the best ride of his career out, L&M, Yamaha, and those things. But this is one of the best rides he's ever had for a 450 class this year. So kudos to him. I think it's a great hire all around. They don't expect him to, win races or anything, but he adds a lot to that team.
The bummer is that Brandon Hartraft is set to be his teammate, but Hartraft, dude, the brick went down hard and is hurt really bad. Hope to see him back on a racetrack, but it's going to be a long, long time. You're hearing that they might fill in Hartraft's spot.
Shane McElrath.
Linked to that.
Yep. Shane
Okay.
McElrath will be on there, I believe.
Oh, it's happening.
So,
Okay.
It's happening.
Yep.
So
He
Shane
had
will
talked
go,
to them for 2 years ago.
Shane will be on his
Yeah.
5th or 6th bike brand in 6 months. So that'll be a nice change for him.
Yes.
But no, I think the number 12 is solid, good professional, good main event guy. That's about as good of a fill-in as you're going to get for someone, like Brandon Hartraft. So good job for Shane McElrath.
It's good to have an answer there because there were 2 riders hanging out in the wings, Joey Savatgy and Shane McElrath. Now, they have deals, or at least did have deals for World Supercross. I know that McElrath has told me World Supercross, he's on Rick Ware Racing. He's going to definitely race that series next year. I'm assuming Joey Savatgy's in the same spot. But we were kind of waiting to see where they would end up in the AMA series. We got an answer from McElrath. What about Joey?
I don't know. I think he's Rick Ware Racing on a Kawasaki.
For World Supercross, yeah.
No, for this Supercross, too.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I get.
Okay.
If he's watching this, I mean, I ask him.
Send us a DM.
I asked
Leave
him,
it in the comments, Joey.
and he
Tell us
doesn't-
what you're doing.
He just makes jokes back, so I don't really
everything
know.
has been
I don't
that, yes.
really
I
know
honestly
what-
don't think he knows.
Yeah.
I really don't think he knows. So yeah, if he wants to fill us all in, but I think there's a few things I think he's probably trying to piece things together, and he's also thinking someone's going to get hurt.
He'll be at A1. He's been riding too
Yeah,
much.
of course.
Like he'll be in their pickup truck. Somehow
Yeah.
he'll be at A1.
But he knows people get hurt in
Yeah.
the sport, right?
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
is. You have to think he is the number 1 draft
Well,
pick
he's
for
been-
any factory team.
He's had to fill in and be filled in for.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So he's just waiting in the wings, essentially.
I think
probably.
I don't think it's a terrible plan. I don't know how great it is on the finances to not have deals done.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for an opportunity on equipment, it's probably not a bad plan.
But he has a fly racing contract in his back pocket.
Well, I would hope that we could sort something out, but
Yeah.
it's really hard for us to give him something when you don't even know what you're doing.
Right.
That's challenging.
That's fair. Let's get into a couple of our other privateer favorites. We love these guys. Some of them that we're friends with. We enjoy the 450 LCQ. It's probably the most exciting race of every weekend. We want it on TV, even in the Triple Crown races. Please give it to us.
You're missing somebody, though.
Oh, yeah?
You're missing somebody.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how this gentleman is going to do.
Oh, okay.
But like 2 years ago, Justin Hill was like 8th in points.
Yes.
And he's back.
Yes.
He is back.
And I don't know.
I talked to him for about half an hour.
Yeah, same
Okay,
here.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, Justin Hill's back.
So, okay, he was 8th in the points, and taking 2 years off is not recommended for Supercross.
Would say that's fair.
Yeah.
Supercross results.
Yeah.
But
But if
he's-
anyone could, if
he's
anyone
pretty
could,
talented.
if anyone could.
So could he get a 10th? Just at the end of the year, he's on Tedder Racing. At the end of the year, he's 11th in points,
Oh, I think that's absolutely possible.
It's
It's
unbelievable.
absolutely possible.
Yeah.
which puts him ahead of Chiz and all these other guys that we've
Yep.
just talked about.
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
is a
Right.
former West Coast champion.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This isn't a long-time privateer that's just kind of been hanging
No,
around.
no,
like
this-
this guy
that-
was for a while. Like we're like, man, this guy's really something. And then I don't know, it kind of imploded from there.
That's why I bring him up
Yeah.
before we get into.
Yeah, he's
our
not
guys.
that journeyman type.
No.
Although he hasn't raced. Yeah, 2020 was a decent season with MCR Honda.
Yeah, eighth in the points, I believe.
But when they came back from the pandemic break,
Yeah.
it felt like it was bad. So that hurt his ranking.
Uh.
Then he just chose not to race at all in 21. He was going to race last year. Bike broke. He got hurt. Out all year. Now he and his brother, Josh Hill, by the way, back.
Yep.
So the Hill brothers are teammates on Team Tedder. I have no idea how this is going to go, but yes,
I don't
do
think
not
they
be
do.
surprised.
And I don't think Tedder knows.
No. Justin told me he's had a tough time finding places to ride in California. He hadn't been out there in like 4 years, and there's not as many tracks as there used to be. So,
Yep.
wildest of wild cards, the Hill brothers.
But having said all of that, they're 11th in the points, everybody. Justin
Hill. The talent is there, no doubt. Thanks to our sponsors, Monster, Fly, Maxima, and Maxis. Now we can talk about the journeyman. Where do we go? We're talking A-Ray, we're talking Cade Clayson,
Well-
Freddie Noren, Justin Starling. Where are we at?
When we get into these guys,
Yeah.
Before we do that, Pulpamex Fantasy. These guys in
This
Pulpamex
is the
Fantasy.
linchpin of fantasy. This is it.
Where it all goes
The
down.
sweet spot
It
of
is.
Pulpamex Fantasy. Please sign up over $150,000 in prizes. And if you pay before Anaheim 1, we have a TTR up for grabs, and we have a little bit of a discount.
And that's
savings
that's
as
just a
well.
raffle.
Yeah.
You don't have to be great
Yeah.
at the game. That's
Yeah.
just a
And-
randomized raffle.
And we're raffling off a 450. That again, you don't need to be great at the game. You can just win it by just signing up before Anaheim 1. You get more
Okay.
chances at it. This is the sweet spot. A-Ray, Starling, Cade, Ryan Brees. These guys are where the Pulpamex Fantasy is made or broken. Unfortunately, in my case, mostly broken. But, yeah, this is a Freddie Noren. I mean, Freddie Noren. I mean, he's been a darling of Pulpamex Fantasy. And then JT, I think there's been times when you've been really angry at Freddie.
I have, but I have learned that I just don't pick Freddie in Supercross. Outdoors, no problem.
Okay.
Great rider, dependable. Supercross, not so much.
But he does get it done in Supercross
He
sometimes.
does.
He does.
He
Sometimes,
does.
yeah.
Sometimes.
I just don't. It's not good for my heart to pick Freddie
Okay.
Noren. Like
Right.
I like lower blood pressure. I don't want to have some sort of medical emergency in the middle of a race. So I just don't pick Freddie,
Okay.
and that's fine. Some weekends I'm going to wish I did, but
Yeah.
I just stick to my rules, and then you don't get yourself in trouble.
You have another rider with the same rule, Jerry Robin.
Yes.
Same rule.
Yeah,
Yep.
that goes without saying. Different class, but yes.
So I did a podcast with AC, asked him about riders that he's seen at the test tracks, and he brought up one Alex Ray. Said he's even killing it in the gym.
Yeah. Heard this.
I don't think killing it in the gym is going to do much for you.
No, he mentioned test track and killing it in
Okay.
the gym.
Listen, we know what to expect from A-Ray. Like, it's not a mystery what's going to happen.
High excitement.
He's going to send it, and then he's going to send it right off the track
He's got
at
good,
other times.
He's got good wrists. He's back on Blue Crew.
Max's tires.
Max's tires,
Yep.
3-digit number. So he's hungry to get in the mix.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
getting-
Okay.
He's
Okay.
getting married in November, so
right.
now he's got a
Home life.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I mean, this.
I mean, we all love A-Ray.
yeah.
Like, that's not in question. It's just, are you willing to risk your fantasy team on the back of Alex Ray?
That's a wild
That
ride.
is a heavy,
It is.
heavy question.
Yes.
Absolutely right. Cade Clayson, really good last year.
Yep.
Another
he
guy
was.
that crushes
He
it.
was. He
Justin
deserves a ton of
Starling.
credit. Cade really deserves a lot of credit.
Yep. He was my deep sleeper a lot. Past years, I was just off a few years on
Yep.
that. Justin Starling, really good season last year. Good for Starling.
Yep.
Ryan Brees, great job as well. Those guys were in almost every main event near the end of the year and battling it out. And then, we still have our Yamaha LCQ Challenge race.
You're going to do it.
Coming up in Denver.
Okay.
So we are going to give away, we had $140,000 last year. So let's hope we can top that.
They go to your website. They enter to try to win a Yamaha.
$30.
And that money goes to the privateers.
100% of the money goes to the privateers that are in the LCQs the most.
Okay.
So check it out.
One other team, it's hard to classify this. I don't know what classes they're racing in all the time. Speaking of Justin Brayton, the team he used to ride for, Moto Concepts, Smart Top, Bullfrog Spas, Honda. Great team. A lot of success. Brayton's awesome. Won Daytona with the team. Do you remember that?
All I remember is you hugging him.
That's all I remember. I know who's on the team. We talked to Tony Alessi, the team manager. They got Vince Friese, of course. He's always there. Anthony Rodriguez is back. Mitchell Oldenburg. They've got quite a few riders, but he just said it's a mix. They did a great job last year of racing some 250s, some 450s. So that's why I don't know where to classify.
Cole Seeley's going to do some 450s.
Cole Seeley.
Anthony Rodriguez, JT, will break some Pulp MX fantasy hearts.
Mm-hmm.
He's loose.
Yeah.
They're South Americans. Whether it's Hardy, whether it's Anthony. Marty. The South Americans.
Typically, yes. From what I've learned in racing also, if you are of Latin persuasion, your program is loose on the racetrack.
You send it.
Fast
Yes.
and loose.
Yeah, you can go fast.
Fast and loose.
Yeah. But anyway, so you're absolutely right. That'll be an interesting team to watch. We'll talk
Cole
more
Seeley
about the
back.
250s. Yeah, Cole
but
Seeley.
for some races.
Yeah.
We can't pin that.
That is very much Cole Seeley, though. Yeah, maybe I'll race, maybe I won't.
I would love to tell you more about the team, but we can't quite pin down. But we do know this. Usually they get really good results regardless of who's on the bikes.
Yep.
So we'll see. Okay, so that's going to be it. I'm going to ask you, grab your SC1. Out of all these, about 25 riders we talked about, who is going to shine? I don't know if you even remember at the top.
Putting some SC1 shine on that video that I saw. That video that Christian Craig sent me.
The Whoop video.
That I think was maybe fast-forwarded.
Like
was
that
It was
good.
video doctored.
Okay.
He's unbelievable. And so he's as good as ever. I'd love to see him go backwards off of Blue Crew.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can rub it in his face.
Yeah.
He looks awesome. So time to shine, Christian Craig. You are not a rookie, and you should have been in video 3.
JT, Fly Racing, who's going to fly?
Yeah, I think the obvious choice there for who's going to fly would be Christian Craig. But I'm going to go off the board. I'm going to go Colt Nichols. I think no one expects a lot from him. Everybody is kind of approaching it the same way we are, where it's like, this is a great opportunity. Let's see what happens. But I think if you look back pre-injury, most of us had either he or Christian to win this title. He was the defending champion in the class. So I think there's an opportunity for him to surprise to the upside. If it doesn't work out and he does average, okay, so be it. But I think there's a lot of upside there because remember, I come back to the same point. A year ago, and especially 2 years ago, he and Christian Craig were basically the same guy. So if Christian Craig can fly, why can't Colt Nichols fly?
Stick it to JT also, if you can. A-Ray, let's do this.
Oh,
What?
I didn't
What do
know
you
what he
mean?
did against.
I didn't felt like you were negative towards him.
But you don't have Troll Train anymore, so
No.
you can't beat up. This is tough, man. You lost Troll Train. I've
they
lost
gonna-
Brayton. This is a tough
Are
season.
they going to have like a little ceremony for Troll Train?
For Brayton, they should.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
You just made a comment as a majority owner of a PulpMX fantasy game where if you choose Alex Ray, it asks you, are you sure you want to do that?
It does.
Are you
It
sure
does.
that you
It
want
does.
to?
It does.
So you can stuff your sorries in a sack.
We need to take that down because I think he's a new man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Got the Maxxis tires. Oh, Blue Crew. That's why. Blue Crew. All right. As you said, we buried the lead. The big part of this, show 4, we've talked all 450s so far. We'll have a 250 episode coming up next. Show 5, time to make title predictions. I'm going to go way, way, way out on a limb. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Eli Tomac, I believe, is the title favorite for 2023. That's my pick.
Wow. Yeah, you really
Way
up
out
there.
on a
Really
limb.
bold.
Yes.
Yeah, bold.
I picked
So-
him about 7 times, and I've been right
yeah,
twice.
Yeah, no, listen. You picked him last year? mean,
No,
twice.
I think the one time he won, yeah. It
So
probably
you were right
didn't.
once.
Yes, I was right once.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
I was right in 2020.
I believe I've been only right once with Eli Tomac
Yes.
the year of
Yes.
Kawasaki.
yeah,
So,
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you going Eli? Are we going Blue Crew?
if you-
Very, very interesting, Steve.
If you watch the other videos of this, and chances are if you watch this 4, you've watched the other 3, you kind of can pick up who my title pick is. And I was 1 year off of the McGrath in 93 stuff.
Gosh. Oh, my
Chase
gosh.
Sexton will be your title, Supercross title
Wow.
winner. He will get consistency.
Mm-hmm.
We already know he's got the speed.
Oh, yeah.
Bike will be better. He'll figure it out. I like the third year thing.
Mm-hmm.
history goes, third year's a leap. We saw him last year. No one could touch him outside of that Eli Tomac guy. Yep. Going to figure it all out. No more Minneapolis. No more Atlanta Speedway. No more, what was that race where he just about died?
Minneapolis.
No, off the side of the track.
Seattle.
No more Seattle.
Yeah.
No more. Honda gets their title. First time since the GOAT.
Woo!
But I've only been right once.
Yeah.
In like 8 years,
Keep it in
folks.
mind. Yeah,
so
yeah.
keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to make mine short and sweet. Eli Tomac. I have no reason not to pick him. He's almost won everything he signed up for for a year straight. So, yeah, I like that pick.
I hope I get to keep my Yamaha.
Yeah, I know. You're the one guy that didn't pick the Yamaha rider. Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. Yeah, Justin Cooper. Look for your suspension in the mail. Those are our 450 shows. Thanks to Monster Energy, our title sponsor, and also Maxxis, Maxima, and Fly Racing. We'll be back for episode 5 of the 250s. Go to supercrosslive.com to get tickets for these races. And don't forget to look at the new supermotocross.com website for all the rules and regulations of the entire 31 race season. Steve, spray us with some pump and get us out of here.